Hello YouTube, this is Largo64. About a year ago I did a video called regarding the Bible's dirty little secret. It was an answer to another YouTuber named Terpus Hereticum, that's vile heretic in English. And I can't find him anymore. I hope that he's still around, but I can't seem to find him. So I don't know exactly what he had said. But the video that I made was somehow corrupted, along with about 13 other of my videos, where the audio portion has been completely wiped out. I've got 14 videos out there with no audio, and I don't know whether there's some systemic problem with maybe one of YouTube's site maintenance forays, or whether there's somebody actually attacking my videos. I'd like to find out if any of you are having the same problem, because with audio just coming out as a hiss, and then for about a minute, and then just disappearing entirely, no sound at all. I don't know how anybody could hack into the archives of YouTube. These were all quick captures. What I'm doing this on now is iMovie, so I will have an original, and I can replace it if anybody screws with it. But in those, I can't do anything about that. I'm leaving them up because the comment sections are still valuable, and people are still commenting, even though they can't hear them now. They still have some comments that I'm answering. I'm going to try to go over some of the same points that I did in that video. As I recall it, there are some Christian apologists who are having trouble believing that that the genocides that are described in the Old Testament could possibly really have happened. They either haven't read them themselves, or they haven't been told about them in church. That's what I suspect is really the case, because a lot of people really don't read the Bible. They may have a Bible, but a surprising number of Christians who would love to argue with you on YouTube really haven't read it themselves, and they're a little shocked when they see exactly what it does say. I'm going to tell you a little bit about exactly what it does say. I'm going to try to get this done quickly. I did this once, and then it rambled on to over 14 minutes, and I can't do that. So I'm going to read most of it here, and with a little bit of commentary. Going to the first section that I started with was in Numbers, beginning in chapter 31. Numbers 31, verses 17 and 18. Moses has called the tribes together, and he relays a message from God that God wants the 12 tribes of his people to gather 1,000 men each and arm them for war. And they are to avenge God upon the Midianites. Now the tribes did as ordered up to a point. They killed all the adult males of Midian, including their kings, but they took the women and the children captive and spoiled Midian, meaning that they looted the city and all of its livestock. Now the soldiers presented their booty to Moses and Eleazar the priest, and Moses was furious with them. Furious because they brought home all that booty? No. Oh, he was angry because they hadn't killed everybody. They were supposed to kill every living person in that city. So he tells them, beginning in Numbers 31, verse 17, "Now therefore, kill every male among the little ones, babies, and kill every woman that hath known man by lying with him. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves." Now you can just guess what they're being kept alive for. And you can also guess, because I'm not going to go into it, what test must have gone on in order to find out which females had not had intercourse with a man yet. And who knows how young the babies might have gone when they performed this test. Now we go to Joshua. Joshua chapter 6, verses 17 through 21. This is the story of the conquest of Jericho. Verse 17, "And the city, Jericho, shall be accursed, even it and all that are therein, to the Lord. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest ye make yourselves accursed, when you take the accursed thing and make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it. Now, I'm talking about anything that's is in Jericho that they might want to keep for themselves, with certain exceptions just about to be outlined in verse 20. In verse 19, but all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto the Lord, and they shall come into the treasury of the Lord. So consecrated unto the Lord. The Lord thought that the gold and silver and brass were holy things, and he wanted those for himself. Now in verse 20, so the people shouted when the priests blew the trumpets, and it came to pass that when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. And verse 21, and they utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword. They didn't leave alive anything at all, not even babies. Now we go to 1 Samuel 15, verses 7 through 9. This is the campaign against the Amalekites. Saul had been told by Samuel that God wanted him to go and to smite the Amalekites and kill everybody and everything, not save anything alive, just as before. Even the animals were to be killed. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest up to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refuse, that they destroyed utterly. Samuel had told Saul before this that it was the Lord's will that all be destroyed in Amalek, everything. Nothing was to be spared. So he was furious that Saul had saved the king and saved some of the animals. Now, Saul's excuse was that the animals were to be used as sacrifices to God. And basically, Samuel's comment to this was, hey, what? You think that God wants your sacrifices more than he wants your obedience? He stripped Saul of his kingdom in the name of God, gave it to someone else who he claimed was a better man, and then asked that Agag be brought to him, that is Samuel, and Samuel hacked him to pieces himself. These are the most bloodthirsty people I ever heard of. Now, Christians who I've talked about with some of this with are sometimes shocked because they haven't seen these things themselves in the Bible. Now, the idea of killing babies has been justified by some Christian apologists because in the Bible, God has often wrought justice upon the families of the sinner. In Exodus 20, in the Ten Commandments, he says, "For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me." So here it says very clearly in the Bible, God punishes the children for the sins of the fathers. And yet, in Ezekiel 18, verse 20, it says, "The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father." Now that's interesting. I think I'm just up to about almost my 10 minutes here. I'm going to stop, and I hope I get a lot more comments on this one added to the ones from before. You can still comment on the original one, Read the Bible's Dirty Little Secret. I simply used the same title on this one because I wanted to get the same people interested in seeing it. Bye-bye. Where's the...